Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a really special knife consult for you. A lot of people, when they talk about my YouTube channel with regards to knives, a lot of times people use the word knife porn. In no other knife, perhaps in the entire existence of my channel, is this phrase more aptly used than with this knife. This is the CMF Metalworks Crusade, and this is a spectacularly beautiful piece that comes to me by way of my buddy Josh. He goes by Echo Does Knives on Instagram. And this knife is made by Ian Pickarski. He goes by CMF Metalworks. CMF stands for Crazy Mother. That comes from a little forum name that he had back in the day. He was a knife modifier for a little while, and now he's gone to making his own full custom knives. Now, as you'll see on the inside here, perhaps, this one is actually number 3. So let's see, actually it's facing this way. So if I go ahead and do this, I'll show you. It says Crusade. Maybe you'll see it, and it says number 3 in there. He has made a considerable number of knives since this, and so his quality and his standards have improved even from this. But this is an absolutely beautiful piece, and I wanted to show it off just because it's so cool. And I actually have a special little arrangement with Ian coming up, and I'm really looking forward to showing you that as well. So thank you, Josh and Ian, for allowing me to experience this knife and see a little bit about what's going on. So before I get my fingers all over it, I want to show you one more time this beautiful black Damascus scale. I've cleaned it off with some alcohol before the video here because I wanted you to see it in its full glory. What happens to Damascus and black Damascus, as soon as I start to touch it, it's going to smudge and it's going to be less brilliant. So just take a look at the way that it dances in the light. It is absolutely beautiful. I wanted to get this in full 4K for you guys. If you're able to watch this in 4K, I hope that you will, because this is stunningly beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and get some vital signs on this knife right here. Up front, you are looking at about 3.5 inches of overall blade length with 3 inches of cutting length. You have a very large forward choil going on right there. Back to the pivot, you're looking at right at 4 inches, and the overall length is right at about maybe 8.25 inches. The handle length is coming in at about 4.8 inches, and the overall grip area, if you include that forward finger choil, is about 5.3 inches, so pretty nice. It is a rather thick knife right here. The handle, I'm going to do this very gently so that I don't scrape this. I really don't want to. Is coming in at 0.57 inches right there. And the blade stock is a rather robust 0.195. So very big blade stock and a very big knife overall right here. I'll bring out another couple of common knives for a size comparison right here. Here is a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and then a Para 3. You can see that the Crusade here is closer in size to the PM2 than the Para 3. So that's pretty cool right there. I can bring out another couple of special knives here. Here's a Koenig Knives Arius. And I'm going to bring out another special knife here with a similar coloration. This is a Gavco Knives Tiger. What you'll notice is that there's a difference in the way that these two black Damascus finishes have been done. Ian used the traditional flame coloration and achieved this dark purple and blue, whereas Michael Gavick uses electroanodizing to achieve his purples and blues. A nice size on this knife. It's a big blade. It's a 3.5 inch blade, which is nice for my hand size. And we're going to go ahead and break this knife down anatomically and learn a little bit more about it. Up front is this beautifully done Damascus steel blade. I'll have to ask Ian to comment down below which type of Damascus this really is. It is really beautiful. You can see that he's done the etch on the hollow bevel there, the primary bevel. He's also done it on the top swedge, which is quite nice, but he's left the flats very plain, straight satin finish, hand satin finish. But if you look really closely, maybe I'll be able to capture it on the camera. In certain angles, you can see the Damascus pattern even through the satin flats right there. And it is really nice looking. I'm not sure that I would have gone with this exact blade finish. I think there's a whole lot of satin on there, but it is a very nice contrast that he achieves. The blade itself is a nice clip point shape with a very nice big recurve. This functions quite well. It's a very sharp blade. I did not carry this knife and use it outside, even though Ian said I could. It's just too expensive and too fancy for me to have carried outside. It's not really to my taste for what I like to carry every day, but it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. The blade is crazy sharp. I love the way that he finished the tip out there. With it's not really a zero grind, it's just a bit of a wider bevel out there. It's very beautiful. You can tell that this is a custom knife because of the way that the grinds are done. You can see actually out here at the tip that the grinds are not exactly even, but that's something that you have to learn to love on these full custom knives. When the grinds are not even from side to side, you just kind of have to learn to love that. Moving back to the pivot, this thing runs on a ball bearing system, and it has one of the nicest detents. It's such a big, heavy blade with a strong detent that it just fires and it locks up like a tank. These solid pieces of titanium on the scales here, on the handles, mean that this feels like a bank vault when it's locked up. It's very, very nice. The drop shut action is extremely smooth as well. He has got his detent in action perfectly tuned, so very well done in that regard right there. The pivot hardware is done in this nice titanium with a beautiful pivot collar around it in the gold coloration. Looks very nice. Looking back here at the handle, this has got to be the most spectacular part right here. I've already gotten some fingerprints all over it. Maybe you can see that it's dulled a little bit. I showed you a good picture of it. I will wipe it down one quick time here for the video. Very, very beautiful black Damascus. So this is titanium and two different types of titanium, maybe three, as well as zirconium, all mixed together and then forged to make this beautiful pattern. My new sort of toy that I'm going to be getting from Ian soon is going to be very reminiscent of this, and I'm looking forward to that. The back is a titanium frame lock done in a nice stone wash for a user finish. It's got a very big clip. It does ride a little bit up off of the scale here, and that's because it's a large clip. It doesn't have a whole lot of spring to it, but it will work well in the pocket. I have put it in and out of the pocket, and it works just fine. It's a rather large clip. But showing off that black Damascus is really key here. This is a nice blend of form and function going on here. So what do I think of this knife overall? I think that it is a beautiful, beautiful piece. It has really drawn me into looking at Ian's work, CMF Metalworks. He has really come a long way. His tolerances have gotten better. His grinding skills have gotten better. His finish work has gotten even better. And his knife making skills have gotten better. He has told me that this is not necessarily representative of what his newest knives are like. I forgot to mention the floating black Damascus backspacer here. You can see the beautiful way that the wave pattern matches up with the main show side right there. Really just a spectacularly beautiful knife right here. And it doesn't really mask some major issues. While I do think that the grinds are a bit off, that is really the only major problem with the knife. Mechanically, it is quite nice. The action is excellent. The detent is crisp and very nice. The pocket clip functionality is there. The ergonomics are there. So, you know, sometimes knife makers can use pretty materials to cover up some pretty glaring errors with the knife. This one is really not covering up anything with its beauty. It's just augmenting what is already a pretty sweet knife. It's a very big, robust, and beefy folder. He does make a couple of other models. One is called the Argonaut, and perhaps he makes some more. I've got a nice little thing coming from him soon, and so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Tell me what you guys think of this absolutely beautiful knife. Go and check out Ian at CMF Metalworks on Instagram. He may also have a Facebook page right now. He's a super nice guy. He's actually going to be featured on one of our podcasts, the Knife Cast, coming up here pretty soon. He's going to be our very first maker spotlight. So very happy to have this knife in my hand. It has opened my eyes to another very sweet new custom maker. So keep an eye on him. I expect big things are going to be coming out of his workshop over the next couple of years. He's going to grow and keep making these spectacular knives. Thank you guys for watching. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Follow me on Instagram over at Dr. Frunkey. And as always, guys, take care.